Yeah, so election season's here, obviously. And one thing that I got thinking about was politics being very polarizing thing in America. And it might feel normal to you because you grew up here, but in a country like the Philippines, for instance, it was never that way. There was never this thing about, okay, this person's a different political belief. I'm not gonna hang out with them, or like a holiday and the family's
Mm,
fighting over politics. It's pretty common here, I hear, but in the Philippines,
yeah.
that would never even occur. Like I don't know a single family that fights about politics over Thanksgiving. So I was thinking, what do you think is about American culture that makes it that way? That we get so divisive when it comes to politics or even different ways of thinking.
I think that, well, I have a lot of thoughts about that, but I think that basically that comes from, to me, like the divide and conquer strategy,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
uh, that people, people are divided, they're not going to unite and change things.
Mm.
And that's something that's been practiced in since the beginning, like colonial, you know, for example, the I can think of the racializing of uh, of slavery, right? Because before that, according to what I've seen of U.S. history, and this is still during the colonies, right? Before that, there had been like more commonalities between people who were, taken from Africa and enslaved, and the indentured servants coming from Europe. So they had a lot of commonality. And so they saw each other as natural allies. And these people were marrying each other, forming communities, and they were starting to like organize themselves. And so there was a concerted effort to take that away by racializing and slavery to make it that, oh, African people are naturally inferior, and you as a white person, even if you're an indentured servant, you're still superior, right? And so this was codified into laws beginning in Virginia in the 1700s, like early 1700s. This is the first time that we see, for example, the usage of terms of white and black. Before that, there was not
Mm.
uh, that usage. Um, and so there's, um, like I remember when I was working um, for Amnesty International in the 90s. The person, a person who's holding like it was like a poker analogy. Someone who's holding four aces is not going to want to be dealt another hand. They want to keep it,
Mhm.
right? So they're going to do like if you have the privileges, the power, and the advantages, you want to keep it. You don't want to give it away. You don't want to share. Does that make sense? Like if you're wanting, if you have a full deck, you don't want a change of
Mhm.
your cards. You want to keep your cards.
Mhm. Yeah,
Does that make sense?
it does make sense. So, just to follow up on that, would you say that the kind of divisiveness we have regarding politics or regarding thinking in America is in a sense a distraction, to keep us from, I don't know, uniting and seeing what's really happening? Would that be an accurate perception of what you're saying?
Yeah, that's the way I see it,
Mm-hmm.
in my study of history and politics in the US,
Mm-hmm.
and in the world. It's a pretty tried and proven tactic that has worked
Mm-hmm.
throughout history. So it's still used.
Yeah.